So in this video, I'm going to explain you about Python list. Okay. Now let's start with that. So what is list in Python? So list is a type. List is another type of a sequence type defined by the list class of Python. So list is basically allows you to add, delete, or process elements in very simple ways. And list is very similar to arrays. So means we can store multiple values into a variable. Or multiple values means those values can be either same data type or different data types. So this is a kind of a data structure we have in Python. Now let us see what kind of different operations we can perform on list. So creating list in Python. So how we can create a list in Python? Let me just show you practically. So let me just open PyCharm. So here I am going to create a new Python file. So I will just name it as a list. Click on OK button. Now it is created new Python file. Now let's see how we can create a list in Python. Creating list. So we can create the list in many ways. So one of the ways we can just say name of the list variable and is equal to list of a simple bracket. So what that it means, it is just created a list which contains nothing. So no variables. This is a empty list. It is a empty list. So you can say this is an empty list. Now when I try to print this, let's say printer of list1. So here list1 is a variable, right? So list is a data type structure. Now when I run this code, it prints nothing. So there are no values at all. Now how we can add values into list? Now I will show you one more notation. Let's say I'll take a variable called as a list2. So here I will create a list, new list, which contains some values. How we can create the values in the list? We can just say a bracket. So here I can just add a few values. Let's say 22, let's say 31 and 61. Some values I have added. Now keep everything in the bracket. Okay. So this is how we can just create a list with a few elements 22, 31 and 61. And these elements should be part of the list. So this is a list2 is a variable which will refer the complete list of items. Now when I can print this again, so let me just print as a list2 here. It will print all the list items 22, 31, 61. Okay, and not only the same data type, we can also store different types. Like we can store int strings, or we can store numbers, we can store combination of numbers and strings. So everything is allowed here. Now let's see. I can create one more list variable which contains strings as a parameters. Let's create list3. So I'll just say list here, and in the bracket we have to put all the list items in the square brackets here, right? So here string I will just say first Tom, right, and comma. I'll just say one more string. I'll just say Jerry and comma, and create one more variable. Let's say Spike, right? So these are the two strings I have inserted into this list. Now let's print this list. So print list3. Now when I run this code, it will give you exactly 3 items which are present in list3. Okay, and sometimes we can also store multiple characters in a string. So in that case, we can just say a list 4, something list variable 4, let's say is equal to a list of, just to specify a one string here, let's say Python. So now what happens is it just create a list variable which contains how many characters? 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. So Python. Let's print this, and what it will print, let us see. Print of list4. This is just a variable. Okay. Now run this code. It prints Python. Right. So these are the different ways of creating list in Python. Now we will see how to access the elements from the list. So the next thing is how to access the elements from the list. So normally if we want to access the element from the list, we can just use a operator, so bracket operator. So this is a normally called as a square bracket. So this we have to use, this one we have to use, and we need to pass an index value. So we need to pass an index, and based on that the index value will be written. So normally the index will start from 0. So this item will start from 0. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is a 4, and so on. So we can pass an index in this bracket and we can get the exact value. Now let me show you this practically. Let's go to the PyCharm. Now let me just remove this. Now I'm trying to accessing elements from a list. So I'm trying to accessing element from a list. Now I will create a list variable. Let's say L is equal to, right? So here I can directly specify some list items 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and 5. So which contains the 5 elements. L is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can also directly assign the values into a variable, list variable. Now I can print or I can extract one value from this list. How can I extract? Let's say print, right? L is my list variable, and in the brackets I need to specify the index. Suppose when I say 1, so what this will return? So here 1 is 0, index is 0, and the value 2 index is 1. So exactly it will return 2. Now let us run this code. This will return the 2. So based upon the index, the exact value will be returned. And similarly, if I want to specify, let's say 0 here, okay, now what this will return? It should return 1 because in the first 0 position we have 1 here. Now run this and we will see 1 here. So this is how we can access the elements from a list by specifying bracket along with the index number. Okay, now let us see what are the different common operations we do on list. So we have few operators like in operator, not in operator, plus operator, star operator, and here bracket operator. So these are different methods or operators we can just use to perform certain common actions. And along with this, we also have few methods like a length method. It will find out the length of a list, and minimum, it will find out the minimum or smallest value in this list, and maximum, it will find out the maximum number in the list, and sum, it will add all the values in the list. And we can also read the list items by using for loop. Let's see programmatically how we can use all these methods, common operations on list. Now let me just give you, or let me just write the code to demonstrate all these methods. Let me just open command PyCharm. So in this PyCharm, so what I can do is I will just apply certain operations here. So before that, I will create a list variable. Let's say list1 is equal to, I will assign some values to this particular list. Let's say 2, 3, 4, or we can give some other numbers. Let's say 1, or 30, something like that. Okay, this is a list I have created. Now we need to use in operator. So how to use in operator? Suppose when I say printer, so here we have a 2 is there, right? So I can verify 2 in list1. Now what this will return, what the in operator will do is whether this exact value is present in this list or not, it will verify. If this value is present in that list, it will return true or it returns false. So in this case, 2 is present in this list, so that we are expecting the output is true. Now when I run this, it gives you true here. And similarly, this is exactly opposite of not in. Suppose the same thing when I use with the not in, right? So not in. So what this will return? So not in. So because 2 is already part of this list, but still I am using not in operator. So not in means it will return false because it is already there. It is in. So not in is exactly opposite of in operator. So this should return false. So let me just write false. Now when I run this code, it will give you false. This is a negation of in operator. And similarly, we also have a length function. Let me just show you length. We can just print of list1 is a variable, right? So let's say length of list variable, that is list1. So what this will return? Let's run this code and see. This return 5. So in this particular list, exactly we have a 5 elements, right? 5 values. So it returns 5. So length is a function which will return number of values present in the list. And similarly, we can also use other methods called max, minimum, and so on. So let me just use a minimum function. Minimum function. So what minimum function will do is, minimum function find the smallest element in the list. Let me just write this, run this, and it will give you 1. So in this list, 1 is the smallest element. 1 is the smallest element. And similarly, this will return 1. And similarly, you can also find largest number or largest element in the list. So for that we can just use a max function. So when I run this code, this will give you 30. So 30 is the maximum value in this particular list. So it will give you 30 as an output. And similarly, we can also add all these numbers in the list. So if you want to do that, we have one more method that is called sum of list variable. Sum of list variable, that is list one. Now run this, it will give you 40. Now if you add all these three numbers, it will give you 40. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 30, 40. So this will return exactly the 40. So this will perform sum of values which are present in the list. Okay. Now these are all common actions we can perform on the list. So along with this, we also have some list slicing. So what is list slicing? Suppose in the list slicing means we can just extract few values from one place to another place. Suppose I want to extract these numbers, or I want to extract last three numbers, or I want to extract first two numbers. So I can just use a slicing. It is exactly same as a string. So in the string also we have used slicing operator, right? Same thing, we can just use it here. Now let me show you how we can do the slicing the list. Now go to your PyCharm again. I'll remove it here. So how we can do the list slicing? So let me just create one more list variable here. Let's say list is equal to in the bracket. So all the list we need to specify representing in the bracket only. Okay, 11. I'll say 33, and let's say 44, 66, and some number should be there. Let's say 788 or something called someone. So some random numbers I have given in the list. So how many values we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6 values we have. Now I want to extract something like this. So for example, I will just write print. Okay, so list is my variable. So from this particular list, I want to extract from 0 to 5. 0 to 5. So what are the numbers it will return? So 0 means it will start from the beginning index. 11 is a 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally it is a 5. So 5 means it will always take n minus 1. So starting index will start from 0, but whenever we find out the last index, it should always minus 1. So it will give till 788. Okay. Now when I run this, we are expecting the values from 11 to 788. Because starting index is 0, it will start from here. The 5 is representing like 1. So n minus 1. So 5 minus 1 is a 4. So till it will start from 0 to 4. So always the last value will be taken minus 1. So when I run this code, it will give you 11, 33, 44, 66, and 788. So okay, we can just do the slicing like this. So for example, I will write one more notation here. So here I have written like this: print list. So here let's say 3 here, but in the starting value I haven't specified anything. Now what happens? So if I don't specify anything in the starting value, that will be started from 0 itself. That will be considered as a 0. Now it is considered as a 0. What are the values we are getting from here? So 0 means the starting value is 0. So that means 11 we are getting. And this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So 3 means 66. So it will always do minus 1. So we will get everything to till 44. So 11, 33, and 44. So these are the values we will get. Now let's run this code. So now we can see 11, 33, and 44. So if I don't specify any starting value here, that will be considered as a 0. Similarly, if I don't specify the ending index, for example, let's say starting is 0, but ending index I haven't specified anything. Okay, ending index I haven't specified anything, and starting value I will just say 2 here. Now what this will return? So 2 means this is 0, 11 is 0, 33 is 1, 44 is 2. So it will start from 44, right? 44, and the last index is always end, right? So how many characters we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will take till 5. Now let's run this code and see. It gives you till 1. So 44 is starting from 2 position, right? So if I don't specify any index here, it will take till the last value. So finally it returns the 44, 66, 788, and 1. Okay, so this is called as a slicing. This is called as a slicing. Now let's move on to the next one. So plus and star operator. So normally plus operator use it for concatenation, or we can just join the two lists. So we have a two list. Let's say this is one list and this is another list. If I want to join these two lists in one single list, we can just go and use a plus operator. And star operator basically replicates the elements in the list. Replication means multiple times those list items will be repeated. Now I'll show you how we can use this plus and star operators. One is for joining, the other is for replication. Now let's go to PyCharm once again. So here, what I can do is I will just specify a list items here. Let's say list 1 is equal to, I will assign some values to this list. Let's say 11 and 33. Okay, this is a one list 1. And I will create one more list variable. Let's say list 2. So in this list, I will assign a few numbers. Let's say 1, 9. Okay, now I will use the plus operator. So when I use plus operator between these two lists, what happens is it will just join the two lists. Let us say I will get one more list here, list 3, and here I will just say list 1 plus list 2. Now what happens is whatever values we have in the list 1 and those values along with this list 2 values combinedly will be stored in the list 3. Now when I print list 3, okay, so print list 3. Now you are getting all the values from list 1 and also list 2. This is the combined values. These are the combined values from list 1 as well as list 2. Okay, so this is how we need to use a plus operator. Now we will see the star. So star is basically used for replication. So replicate the elements in the list. So to do that, what I can do is I will just create one more list, fresh list. Let's say list 4. And here I will create few variables. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this list contains the 4 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I will do is I will just do list 4. This is my list variable. Okay, list 4 and star 3. Now what happens is these list items 1, 2, 3, 4 will repeat 3 times. Okay, replicates means it will duplicate 3 times, and the final list we can store in some other variable. Okay, the final list we can store in some other variable, other list item. Let's say list 5 is equal to. Now let's try to print list 5 and then we'll see what happens. Print list 5. Okay, now when I run this code, now you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same list variable and the same values are repeated 3 times. And again the complete values are all the values will be stored in one variable, that is list 5. Suppose when I say 5 here, so 5 replications will happen. When I run this, now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and final 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times it is replicated. Okay, so the plus is for joining the two lists and star is for replicating the list values. Okay, now so let's go on to the next one. In or not in operators. We already seen this, right? In or not operators. So in means whether if this particular value is present in this list, it will return true. If this value is not present in this list, it will return false. So this is called in or not in operator. Now we will see how to traversing the list using for loops. So if you want to read these values, we can also use for loop. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Now let's go to PyCharm, and the same operation we also done in the string, right? Same thing we can also use it here. Let me just use a for loop here to traversing the list items. So I will create first a list variable. Let's say this list contains a few variables. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So currently I have 5 values in the list. Now here I will write one for loop. Observe this carefully. So when I say for here, I need to take a temporary variable, right? For I in list variable. Okay, for I in list and colon. So list means this list contains a 5 variable, right? Every time what happens is 1 will be stored in I, next time 2 will be stored, next time 3 will be stored, next time 4 and 5. This is how it will happen. Okay, and then I will write one print message here. Print. I will just print the value of I. Okay, so every time each value will be assigned to the I for every iteration, and finally I value will be printed. So first time 1 will be picked up and stored that into I. Now I will be printed here. Our next round 2 will be picked up and store that into I, then 2 will be printed. Next time 3, 4 and 5 till it will go to the last element. Now when I run this, it will give you 1 to 5. Suppose I want to print all 1 to 5 in the same line. Okay, I want to print 1 to 5 in the same line. So what I should do now is I can just pass one more parameter here, that is called end is equal to double quotes. Just put an empty here. Empty means at the same line it will print. Now run this code again one more time. Now we can see all the values will be printed in the same line. Okay, so this is how we can just traverse the list using for loop. Okay, now so let's go to next one. Commonly used list methods with return type. So there are some methods called append, count, extend, index, insert, remove, reverse, sort and pop. So these are the very useful methods which we can use to perform certain operations on list items or list values. Now let us see one by one. So there is first method is append function. So what this function will do is it will add an element x to the end of the list and returns none. So let's assume the x is a value. Okay, x is a value. So what this append will do is, suppose I have some list of items. When I use this append method, the new value will be appended to the existing list items. And then count function. So the count function will return the return number of times element x is appeared in the list. We need to pass one variable called as a x. So that means a number. So it will give you how many times this number is repeated in the list. And then extend method. So the extend method appends all the elements in list and to the list and returns none. So what this will do is we can just specify a few numbers here, few values, and those values will be added to the existing list. Suppose already in the list we have 5 different values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose I want to add 6, 7, 8. So the 6, 7, 8 we can pass it here. So those values will be appended to the existing list. And then the other function is index function. So this function returns the index of the first occurrence of element x in the list. Suppose x is assumed as a value. So in this particular list, suppose in this list, let's say 3 is an x. So here it will return the index of the first occurrence. So when this 3 is occurred in this list, first time, so the index will be returned. And then insert function will, you can insert a new value inside the list. So we need to we can also specify the index number and it will go and insert that value in that particular location. And remove. So here also we can just remove by specifying the value from the list. And reverse function, it will rearrange the values in, basically this function will reverse the values in the list. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have in the list. And when I use a reverse function on that list, the values will be reversed. It becomes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then sort function will arrange the values in proper sorting order. And pop will return a value and the same value will be removed from the list. So these are the different functions we have in Python, and these functions we can use on the list. Now I'll show you programmatically how we can use these functions. Okay, now let me just go to PyCharm once again. So here I will create a list here. So first list1 is a variable. So in this list I will have few values. Let's say 2 comma 3 comma or 4 comma, let's say 1 comma some numbers. Okay, 32 comma 4, some numbers just specify. Now the first I will use the append function. So how we can use list1 dot append. Now I want to add one more value into this list. Let's say 19. Okay, now what this function will do is the append function will add this new value into the existing list. So currently we have only 3, 4, 5, 6 values we have. So additionally it will append the 19 at the end of this list, end of the list. Now after this appending this value, let's try to print this. Print, right? So list1. Now let's see what this will print. So this will print exactly the same thing. Now if you see the output for this, you can see 19 is attached or appended at the end of the list. Okay, 19 is added at the end of the list. And similarly, let me use a count function. So in the list1 currently we have these many values. Let's count how many values we have in this list. So simply we can just use a count function, list1 dot count, list1 dot count. So list1 dot count. So what this function basically give you is return the count for number. Let's say we have to pass some parameter here. Okay, so when I pass something called 4 here, now this function, okay, so this function will return, okay, so how many number of times the 4 is repeated in this list. How many number of times the 4 is repeated in this list. That's the main count function. So it will not return the number of elements. It basically returns the how many number of times that 4 is repeated in this list. So it will return some value, right? So we have to specify in the print command. This is a print command. Fine. Now let's run this code and see. So it returns 2. So that means here it once it is repeated and here one more time is repeated. So this returns 2. There's a one function. Now, so I will show you one more function called extend. Now here I have defined one more list. Let's say list2 is equal to, I put two elements, two values here. Let's say 99 and 54. Now I want to extend this list. That means I have to add a few more elements. Along with the 99, 54, I want to add few more numbers to this particular same list. So what I can do is, so list 1 is already having, right? So list 1 is having these numbers. Now I want to add this list 2 values to the list 1, which is already existed. How we can extend? Now I'm going to extend the list 1 along with the list 2. Now we can see here list 1, right? Dot extend. I want to extend list 1 along with the list 2. Here I need to specify a list 2. Now what happens is list 1 is already having these values 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 32, 4, 19, and the list 2 contains 99 and 54. So these two values again will be added to the existing list. So that is called as an extend. Now when I run this code, right, so now this will give you this one. Okay, not this one. Let me just print here. After extended, I haven't printed, right? So here I need to print list 1. Okay, now observe this carefully. So before that we have these many values. Okay, now after that 19 and 54 is added, so it is added at the end. So because the existing list is extended to a list 1. Okay, so this is how we need to extend the list. So this will print exactly this one. So list 1 is extended to a list 2. List 1 is extended with a list 2. That's called as an extend function. Now I'll show you one more function called as index function. Now what I can do is here I will print okay, so list 1. Okay, so print list 1 dot index function, index of, let's say 4, just 4. So what this will return? So list1 dot index of 4. When I say list1 dot index of 4, in the fourth index, currently we have these many items in the list 1, right? So in the fourth position, what is the number we have here? This is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth position, right? The fourth position, okay, so we have a 32 here. Okay, so but here this will not take the position basically. It will not take the position. So 4 is a value, right? 4 is available in this list as a value. It will return the index of that particular number. Okay, don't confuse here. So this is a value actually. This is not an index. So when I pass this value here, the index function will return the index of that particular value. So what is an index of 4 now? This is 0, this is 1, and this is the 2. So this will return 2. Now let's run this code again. So finally it returns true. So similarly, when I say here 32, right? So 32, what is the index of 32 here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should return 4. This should return 4. So it is written 4. So here this is a value, and when I say index function will return the value of the index. So index of that particular value will be written. So that is called index function. Okay. Now I'll show you one more function called as a insert functions. How we can insert the values into a list. So currently we have these values in the list 1. Now I'm going to insert one more value in the list 1. So how we can do that? List1 dot insert function. list1 dot insert function. So where I need to insert, I have to tell the index number. Let's say I want to insert a new number in the first position. In the first position, I want to add one more value, let's say 25. Now what this function will do is it will add 25 in the first position. So first position means 2 is 0 position, 3 is the first position, right? So here it will add. Now after inserting this value, again I will print a list1. Let's say print a list1. Now let's see what are the new values we are getting in the list1. Now we can see here in the first position I have added 25. So 2 is a 0 position, 25 is the first position. Now from the 3, 4, 1 will be just moved to the next location. Okay, so this is how we can just insert a new values into existing list, inserting the new values. And similarly we can also uh, pop. We can do the pop. Pop means it will return that particular value and remove from the list. So popping means it will return the value, and whichever value is returned, that will be removed from the list. Now I'll show you how the pop function will work. So I will define a list function like this. Let's say list1. Again I'm taking list1. So currently we have these many values, right? So this is the list1. So again I need to define again. So currently the list1 is having these values. Let me just copy from here. So here, so there are currently list1 is having these many values. Now what I want to do is I will use a pop function now. Let's say list1 dot pop, right? So list1 dot pop, and here I will just give some number here. Let's say 2 here. In the second position, so what is the number we have? 25, right? So after popping it, list1 dot pop 2, okay? After popping it, and then I will print this value. So again, use a print function. So let's see what is an output we will get here. Okay, so let's see what we will get here. List1 dot pop 2, list1 dot pop 2. What this will return? Now when I run this code, it returns 3 here. So what does it mean is, in this particular list, in the second position, whichever number we have, that is returned. So not only return, it will also remove that element. It will return and print it here, right? So not only return, and it will also remove from this list. Now let's print and see whether this element is there or not. And again I will print the list1 after popped it. So again I will print the list1. So now you can see the output. Here we don't find that 25. We don't find the sorry, not that element. Like which element it is popped up? 3, right? So in this particular list we don't find 3 here. So again I will repeat, understand. So pop function will return the value which is there in the specific index, and not only return that value, it will also remove the value from the list. So in the first statement what I have done is list1 dot pop to means this will return the value which is there in the second position. So that is 25. So that is 3, not 25. This is 0, 1 and 2, right? So in the second position we have a 3 here. So 3 is return output. Not only return 3, it is also removed from this list. So after popping this value by index, again I try to print that list. Now in this latest list we don't find 3 here because this is already removed. Now what pop function will do is the pop function will return a value based on the index, and then it will also remove the value from the list. So that is the functioning of pop function. Now we have few more functions. We have a remove function. So how to use remove function? Let me just list1 dot remove. I can directly pass a value and the value will be removed. So currently we have these values in the list1, right? So I want to remove 32. So I can directly pass 32 here. Okay, and then it will remove the 32. After removing this, again I need to print the list, right? So let's say print list1. Now let's see that after removing 32 we will get this list. So in this list we don't have 32, that is removed. So we can remove the values from the list by using a remove function. And similarly we can also reverse it. So how we can reverse these values? So currently in the list1 we have these values. Now I want to reverse these values. Okay, so how we can reverse it? Again list1 dot reverse function. This function will reverse the values. So again after reversing I will print these values. list1 dot reverse. Okay, so or you can do is once we reverse this, right, so then you can print here. After reversing it, now we can just print again list1. Now before reversing, these are the values, current values, and after reversing I am now printing those values. Now run this. See, now these are the exact values are reversed. So first 54, 99, 19, 4, 1, 4, 25 and 2. So the complete list is reversed here. So the reverse function will reverse the list values. Reverse function will reverse the list values. And similarly, we have one more function called as a sort function. The sort function will arrange the values in proper sorted order. Now let's say list1 dot sort function. So after sorting it, now I will print again list1. Now you can see the output. So here, this is the output in sorted order. In sorted order. So 1, 2, 4, 4, 4 repeated 2 times. So it is giving 2 times. Then 19, 25, 54 and 19. So this is a sorted order. So sort function will sort the values in the list. And then we have, okay. So these are the few functions we have in Python. Okay. So what are the functions we have seen so far? Append, and then count function, then extend function, index, right? So insert function and the remove function, reverse function and sort function. Okay. So now let's move on to the next. So these are the functions we discussed. These are the commonly used functions or methods with the list. Now these are the example I have just told you. Now list comprehension. So what is list comprehension? So here, as I told you before, we can just use a for loop for the list, right? So what is a list comprehension means? We can just use the for loop, right, to get all the values from the list. Now I'll show you different variations, like how many ways we can use for loop with the list item. Now go to PyCharm. So let me remove all the stuff. Okay, so observe this. This is very important. List. This is called list comprehension. Okay, list comprehension. And if you want to use this, we need to know the how to use for loop. Okay, before that, or if you're not aware of for loop, please watch my previous recordings. I've already covered that. Now observe this carefully. In the list one variable I created. So in this variable, I want to have few numbers. Right? So what are those numbers? I will generate those numbers by using a for loop. Okay. So what I can do here is x. How to write a for loop? We can write like this. X is a variable, right? For, okay, so x is a variable, x for x in range, let's say 10 here. So normally, okay, so before writing this, let me just write a for loop. How to write for loop normally when I say for? So this is how we need to write a for loop. So for x in range of 10. So this is how we need to write the for loop. And here say print here, I'll print the value of x. So before going to this, let me just understand this part. So what this will do here, for x in range 10. So what does it mean is, the first it will start from 0 till 9. All the numbers will be keep on ascending to x, and x value will be printed. First x value will print like 0 and then 1. Right? First x value will print to 0 and then 1, 2, 3 and it will print till 9. Right? Let me just test it. So put the comment here. When I run this, it will print like 0 to 9. Now what happens? What I want to do is I want to store 0 to 9, whatever values this loop is repeating or returning. I want to store all these values in a list variable. I want to store all these values in a list variable. So how we can do that? I can just specify the same thing in the list variable. Now I'll create a list1 is equal to. So here, don't specify any variable here for now. I'm directly writing for x in range 10. So every time this function will store the value in the x, right? So again, I'm going to store that x value into one more variable here. So that's the reason I put x here. So for x in range, so first 0 will be returned, so 0 will be stored x. That will become first value of the list. Second time it will return 2, so 2 will be assigned to the x. So 2 will be again assigned to the list. And next this will return 3. So 3 will be assigned to the x. Again 3 will be part of the list. Right? So this will automatically happen. But how many values the list 1 should contain now once this loop is repeated? 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Now let's print and see. Print list 1. Okay. Now run this. Now you can see 0 to 9. So the list is created. So in the list 1, we can also create numbers dynamically. We can specify the for loop inside. This is one syntax. Okay. Suppose now I want to store 1 to 10 numbers in the list. So here this syntax will store 0 to 9 numbers. But now I want to store 1 to 10 numbers. But how we can change this same logic? So I'll remove this one. So I want to store only 1 to 10 numbers. I need to start from 1, end with the 10. So you can just say here x plus 1. So now what happens is first 0 will be assigned to the x. Again 0 will be x value is 0, right? 0 plus 1, 1. So 1 will be assigned to the list. Second time 1. 1 will be assigned to the x. So x is already 1. So 1 plus 1, it becomes 2 now. So next one 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever the last value is written as a 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So 10 will be assigned to the x. Now when I print this list 1 again, so this will print 1 to 10. Okay, this is another scenario. For example, I want to store only like even numbers. Let's say 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I want to store only even numbers between 1 to 10 or 0 to 10 in this variable, in that list. So how we can do that? So I will create one more list. Observe the same logic again in the bracket. So x for x in a range. Okay, so in the range, I'll just say 10 again, same range. Now observe this. Normally, if you want to get even numbers, how we will get? So using for loop, let's say for x in range. So this is how we need to get, right? For x in range, I'll say 10 here, colon. So how we will get even numbers? Only even numbers. We have to put one condition, right? If suppose this x is percentile 2, okay, if this is producing as a 0, right, and then what should I do? This will be considered as an even number, and then I will print just x value. Okay, this is how we need to write. So let me comment this part for now. How to comment multiple lines in the double quotes. Now I have commented this much code. So now let's observe this output, what this will return. When I run this code, it will print only even numbers between 0 to 10, right? Now what I want to do is, I want to put the same even numbers in the list. Okay, so when I put these numbers in the list, I will write the same logic. I am writing the same logic. Now observe this carefully. So for now, I'm just removing this. So the same logic I will put inside this list. So for x range 10, okay, for x range 10, if x percentile 2 equal to 0. So this is the condition I will observe this carefully. What happens? So it will start from here. For loop will start from here. For x in range 10, okay, so first time the 0 will be assigned to the x, and 0 divided by 2. If it is produced, that is even number or odd number. So if it is true, that will be added to the x, will be part of the list. And second time will be 1. So 1 divided by 2, it will not produce 0. So that will be ignored. Then second, 2 will be assigned to the s. 2 divided by 2 returns 0. So then 2 will be added to the x. And then it will become 3. 3 divided by 2, it will not return 0. So it will ignore. Then 3 will return from the range. So 3 divided by 2, it returns 1. So it will not be added to the x. Next 4. 4 divided by 2, it returns 0. Right? So 4 will be added to the x. Similarly, every even number will add it to the x. Again, it will be part of the list. Okay. Now I'll print this list 1 again. Print list 1. Now let's see the output. We'll get 0 to 4, 6 to 8. So we can also use this for loop to generate the data or generate the values into a list. Okay, so this is how we need to work on the list in Python. Okay, so that's all for this video. So thanks for watching this. Please subscribe my channel to get more updates on this. Thank you all.